going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caden, or Cantina Comics, and today we're gonna be ranking every single live-action Spider-Man suit that we've gotten throughout the years. There are over 20 suits on this list, ranging from the 1970s up until now. Very quickly though, if you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are very quickly approaching 500 subscribers, and my goal is to hit that by the time that Spider-Man Brand New Day releases in theaters at the end of July. But with all that being said, let's start off in last place with Tom Holland's Night Monkey suit. Now, this suit was solely created just to sell toys, and I hate everything about it. To some people, this might not be the worst suit, but to me it is. It makes zero sense to have this in the film, especially since the whole point of it was to hide the fact that Spider-Man is in Europe and not in New York. But he makes a new suit at the end of the film, and we see him in London with this new red and black suit, so it almost entirely defeats the purpose, and like I said, it was only made to sell toys. The one thing that is nice about it though is the flip-up lenses, but overall this suit is kind of terrible. There is one more thing that I like though, and that is that the suit kind of looks like it's a shield suit, meaning this looks like something that Hawkeye could wear during the Battle of New York if he really wanted to, and it wouldn't feel out of place. But for Spider-Man, I don't like this at all.
A little tight around the old web shooter.
Next, we have the homemade suit from The Amazing Spider-Man. The only reason why I'm putting this above the Night Monkey suit is that we actually have a mask here. It's not perfect, it's not great, but we still have an actual Spider-Man mask, and that's really about it. I know that I'm heavily biased against the Night Monkey suit. I just think this one is better than it, although I wouldn't want either of these to last longer than a few minutes, which they really didn't. Moving on, we have the Japanese Spider-Man suit from 1978 with the show that they had made. This suit honestly might be a little ahead of its time. I really love the Ditko-inspired Spider-Man logo, but that's really about it. We have the red and blue, which is nice. The eyes are way too squinted for me, and also we have the silver bracelet on his wrist, which functions as his web shooter. And Spider-Man in the show used an SMG, so it was definitely out there. Along with that, Spider-Man had a giant mech suit named a Leopardon. I don't know why this was here. It reminds me a lot of Jet Jaguar from Godzilla, but this suit is definitely heavily dated, and it's 1000% a product of its time. I also forgot to mention that the Japanese Spider-Man has a car that turns into a flying car and lands inside of the mech suit, which is kind of insane, especially for the 70s.
地獄からの使者スパイダーマン
Alrighty, next we have the Spider-Man suit from the 1977 US television show. Right off the bat, the eyes on the suit look really weird, but weirdly enough, I kind of like them. But with the lenses we've gotten now in live action, I would not want these at all. And the Spider-Man logo kind of looks like an amalgamation of Steve Ditko's suits as well as John Romita Sr.'s, and I kind of like it. We also got the classic blue and red, and once again, he has the silver bracelet on his wrist for his webs, which I really don't like at all. One cool detail is though, he has a belt here, and it looks sick. Although for me, if there's gonna be a belt, it should be underneath the shirt. As well, he's literally just wearing boots that are painted red with the black webbing on them, and for the time, I'm sure the suit looked great. For what it is, I like it, but I cannot put it any higher on this list. Next, we have Tobey Maguire's unused suit from Spider-Man 1. In the behind the scenes, we got to see the suit from the costume tests, and the mask was noticeably bigger. It almost kind of looked like a helmet, but he had these giant lenses, and I gotta say, I like the lenses a lot more than the ones we ended up getting. I love Tobey's normal suit, but the one thing for me that never really worked for me was the lenses. Even as a kid, they always kind of felt weird to me, but this suit was made so early into production, they didn't even have the Spider-Man logo created yet or implemented on the suit itself, and the red with the mask is a completely different shade than the rest of the suit, so it definitely stands out. And also, it makes his head kind of look like a bobblehead, but it's still very interesting to see what the suit could have possibly looked like. Alrighty, moving on to the next one. This is probably where I'm gonna get some hate. I have Tom Holland's black and gold suit from Spider-Man No Way Home. Once again, like the Night Monkey suit, this suit was made solely to sell toys. There is no way in hell that you're gonna make me believe that Peter Parker was wearing this on his bare skin every single time he had donned the suit. You're telling me all these wires were sitting here poking him and prodding him? There was just no way. It would have been extremely uncomfortable, and I cannot believe that they really thought fans would buy into this. Besides all of that though, if we didn't have all the wires here, this probably could have been a really cool suit. I know when we first saw it in the trailer, I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, we're getting a black and gold suit? That's gonna be sick. But then when we saw it, I was heavily disappointed. I will say, I really love the gold gauntlet that Doctor Strange had given Spider-Man with the Eldritch magic in it so that he could send the villains into their holding chambers. Again, if this was on a normal gold and black suit, it would look so much better, and it kind of sucks. I feel like if they didn't add in all the wiring, a lot of people, including myself, would have the suit a lot higher on this list. I know for me, it would easily be in the top 10.
So what? Y'all just gonna stand here and act like I ain't butt-ass naked?
I am.
No.
Alrighty, next we have the Iron Spider suit that we've seen throughout the MCU and Infinity War, Endgame, Far From Home, and No Way Home. They completely missed the mark with this suit. I mean, we even got concept art for it. It literally was almost perfect. I don't know why they had to go and put the blue on there and over-design it, but still to this day, this is Peter's most worn suit, and that makes zero sense. This should have been a one and done or two and done. I'm totally fine with him having it in Infinity War and Endgame. It made sense, but after that, he should have stopped using it altogether. And yeah, it's so over-designed. This suit was never real to begin with. It's fully CG, and it feels like such a cop-out. It was only in extra movies to sell toys, and unfortunately, that seems like it's going to be a continuing trend for more suits on this list.
Friday, send him home. Yep. Oh, come on!
Alrighty, moving on, we have the Iron Spider suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't know why, this suit looks so much better and different in this movie compared to Infinity War and Endgame and the rest of the appearances we get of it. I don't know why in Infinity War, when we first saw the suit get attached to Peter, it looks so much more different than this one. I don't know, man. I just like this one so much more. It's probably the same suit. It might just be the lighting where it looks better. The blue is more desaturated, almost looks black. But with that being said, I'm gonna move on. Alrighty, next we have the integrated suit from Spider-Man No Way Home. I really like this suit for what it is. When filming, they had just used the updated Far From Home suit and then added the gold lines from the Iron Spider onto this, and it works. And also the colors pop really well, especially for it being fully CG. You would not be able to tell at all. I also really love that Doc Ock kind of created this suit in a way with Peter's nanotech from the Iron Spider. I feel like it was a good way to get rid of the Iron Spider suit and to give Peter something new. And I love seeing it alongside Tobey and Andrew. I just wish a final swing suit would have been used for the final battle. I know why it's not, but just seeing all three of them land wearing their classic suits would have been perfect. I'd honestly be totally fine never seeing the suit again, and it kind of looks like that's going to be the case. Next, we have Tobey Maguire's homemade suit that we'd first seen in Spider-Man 1. I love the giant spider logo on the chest. I love how it's spray painted on. It looks so sick. I wish we would have gotten to see more of the suit being used. On top of that, the gloves aren't that bad, as well as the blue pants. I feel like it works, and the shoes, and he just has a balaclava. This is how you do a homemade suit. I'm looking at you, TASM 1. They could have made that suit so much better, especially looking at this one. This is everything that I'd want from a homemade suit, and that's why it's leaps ahead of the other suits on this list.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
Alrighty, next, this is going to be a controversial one. I have the TASM 1 suit. I really do not like this suit. I have tried time and time again to make myself like it, and every single time I end up just hating it more and more. The texturing on it, like other people have said, it looks like a basketball, and I can't get over that fact. Along with that, the yellow lenses really just don't work for me, and they're too small. I don't like lenses where it looks like Spider-Man is having the squint. It shouldn't be like that in my opinion. I know that they were trying to reinvent the wheel with this suit, and I cannot help but feel like they had missed the mark with this.
The mistakes I made the first time around, I think about the suit, for example. I wanted the suit to be made by hand. I wanted it to feel tactile, and I wanted it to feel something that a kid could make. But I think we strayed too far from what people expected of that suit. I discovered how important it was to be protective of the iconography of Spider-Man.
They had a few cool ideas. I just feel like they were kind of executed poorly. It is cool to see them use the sole of Ossick's shoes and integrate it into the suit. I think it was a really cool idea. I also love his Spider-Man logo, but I just don't like the pattern on this suit at all. I'm sorry if this is one of your favorite suits. It's not mine, unfortunately. With that being said, I'm gonna move on to the next one, and that being Tom Holland's suit from Spider-Man Far From Home and No Way Home. Now, in between the two movies, the suit did change ever so slightly. The belt was updated as well as some of the black lines, and it looks way much better in No Way Home than it did in Far From Home. And speaking of Far From Home, when the suit was made in the fabricator, we had even seen the original Iron Spider design. Why do they keep teasing us with this and not giving it to us? I will never understand. But with that, I really like this as a red and black suit. I feel like though, if the black was blue, it could have looked even better. Along with the Stark suit that's later down on this list, I hate that they keep cleaning up Tom Holland's suits with CGI to get rid of the seams and make it look smooth. It just feels so fake. As well, this is like the 5th suit in Far From Home. It was made once again to sell toys. We have to stop doing this, and hopefully with Brand New Day, that's going to be the case. It looks like we're only getting the final swing suit and the regular Brand New Day suit. Here's to hoping anyway. But as Tom Holland's second suit, I'm not counting the homemade suit or the Iron Spider, this was a pretty cool design, and it was awesome seeing Peter make it with the fabricator.
Oh, I love Led Zeppelin.
Alrighty, next up, we have Tobey Maguire's unused symbiote suit from Spider-Man 3. Now, this suit was not used because Sony believed that it looked too much like BDSM. I can kind of see what they mean, but at the same time, this suit never got fully finished. I feel like if they would have gotten time to work on the suit more and refine it, it would have looked a lot better than the symbiote suit we had gotten. The giant Venom logo is amazing, as well as we had the white on the back of the hands. I want to see this so bad with the Tom Holland Spider-Man suit. I hope we get it. The lenses looked great as well. I just want to have a clean black symbiote suit with the white logo and the white on the back of the hands. And we were so close to having it, and then Sony had to come in and ruin it for all of us. Again, if they would have just given him a little extra time, I feel like it would have looked so much better than what it does.
See you, chump.
What the hell?
Alrighty, next up, we have Tom Holland's Stark suit from Civil War as well as Homecoming. I really love this suit. I just wish they didn't use CG to polish it up and get rid of all the wrinkles, because it looks so fucking fake when you see it, especially in Homecoming. But when the practical suit is used and in the behind the scenes as well as set photos, it looks so good. Weirdly enough, I don't mind the black on the arms, although the black lines on the pants could have gone, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. I really love this suit. I wish we got to spend more time with it. I just hate the fact that they polished it up with CG. It would have been so much higher on my list.
You have a metal arm?
And speaking of the suit and Civil War, we're going to talk about Tom Holland's original suit that he would have had in the movie. He was added in very late into production, and they had to rush to make the suit, and that is why they ended up just replacing it all with CG. But the suit that he had on set looked so much better, and again, just like Tobey's unused symbiote suit, if production would have had more time to work on the suit, it wouldn't look as fake as it does, and it would have probably been even better. I really love the Ditko spider logo that we have here too. It's a shame this suit never got to see the light of day. It could have been so much better than the Stark suit if it was given the proper time, love, and care.
That was awesome!
Alrighty, now at the number 6 spot, we have Tobey Maguire's symbiote suit. This suit holds a special place in my heart. I love it a lot, and they made so many subtle little changes to it, making the eyes more pointed and angrier, as well as hooking the legs inward on the Spider-Man logo. It's just Tobey's regular suit with it being all black, and it works so well. For our first and only symbiote suit, this one came out swinging, and still to this day, it has yet to be topped. Hopefully we'll see Tom Holland get the symbiote in Secret Wars. I cannot wait to see what that suit would have looked like. We did get concept art for it for No Way Home. I hope it returns. But also in Spider-Man 3, this suit, anytime it's on screen, it just pops so well, and I'm glad we got it, even though Sam Raimi didn't want to include Venom at all in the film. And you can thank Avi Arad for pushing him into the movie.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Alrighty, at the number 5 spot, we have Tom Holland's homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. I love everything about it. The emotive eyes, the web shooters, even the reverse Ben Reilly hoodie. This is so sick, and in parts of the movie, it is entirely CG, and you can't even tell, and that's the best kind of CGI, where it's hidden and you don't even know it's there to begin with. But whenever the suit is practical, it looks so good on screen, and it is without a doubt our best homemade suit. And honestly, it might be kind of slept on. I know a lot of people don't have it high on their lists, but I do. I love it so much. Now moving on to the number 4 spot, we have Tom Holland's Final Swing suit from No Way Home. This suit will also be making its return in Spider-Man Brand New Day. On the Funko Pops, we can see here that it says No Way Home suit, and it's also battle damaged. I'm so glad we're gonna get to see it. In No Way Home, it was entirely CGI, it was never created practically, and we barely got to see it to begin with. I was hoping this suit would return and we get to spend some time with it before moving on, and it looks like we're gonna see it a little bit in Brand New Day, which I'm so excited. But I love everything about this suit, especially with them adding these into Insomniac's Spider-Man games. For the longest time, this was my favorite Tom Holland suit, and I know it was many of yours as well. At the number 3 spot, we have Tobey Maguire's suits from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films. Now, I know that they change very slightly throughout the movies. Sometimes they're a little bit darker, sometimes they're brighter. There are subtle changes with the eyes, but I'm gonna lump them all together. This was our first live-action Spider-Man suit in movie form, and my only complaint really is the lenses. I don't like how small and angular they are. When I think of Spider-Man, I think of big lenses like Tom Holland's or even Andrew Garfield's. To me, those are the perfect lenses. But for our first live-action Spider-Man in movie form, these were great. I love the silver raised webbing as well as the face shell with it, and that's one thing I felt like it was missing in No Way Home, was that when Tobey talks, you could see his mouth moving, and we were never able to see that before in the Raimi films because of the face shell. But yeah, minus the lenses, I love everything about this suit. And whenever I see it, I cannot help but feel nostalgic for it. This was my first Spider-Man like a lot of you. Hell, I even dressed up as him for Halloween. Now moving on to the number 2 spot, we have the TASM 2 suit. This, to me, is the definitive Spider-Man suit. I love the size of these lenses. Andrew looks great in this suit. I love that we even get to see the ripples with it, and the fact that the suit is practical. They fixed all of the errors with the TASM 1 suit and improved it in every way. The only thing that I wish was changed was the blue being as dark as it is. I wish it was brighter, like the brand new Days suit. This would be the perfect Spider-Man suit, maybe even changing the raised webbing to be black instead of dark gray. I don't have much more to add to this. I would basically just be nitpicking. I love this suit so much, and I still go back and forth between this one and the number 1 spot.
Of Spider-Man.
And at the number 1 spot, we have Tom Holland's suit from Spider-Man Brand New Day. This suit is perfect. From the second we got the little tease of Tom Holland saying, "Are we ready?" And a couple days after that, seeing the set photos, I was amazed with the suit. Immediately, I knew this was going to replace the TASM 2 suit as my favorite live-action Spider-Man suit. I hope this stays as Tom Holland's definitive suit in the MCU for the next 10 plus years. I don't want them to change anything about it. I love the web shooters, even though it looks like he's going to get rid of them and have organic webbing in the film. I love the lenses. They are a lot bigger than Tom Holland's regular ones. The blue and the red are so vibrant, and I love it, as well as the black raised webbing. I know in the comments people are gonna say I'm a shill, I'm glazing. I don't care. This suit is so fucking sick. It's literally perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about it. I love it so much, and I cannot wait to see it in the film. But with all that being said, that was my list. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Go ahead and drop it. Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out in a little over a month, and I cannot wait. Tickets go live on Wednesday, and I know I'll be picking mine up. I am so unbelievably excited for this film. It's been Caden or Cantina Comics, and I will see you all in the next one.